Tube. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Jenny.
And we're the ShadyTreez Stitches. And look, we're at the Shady Tree. We're inside because it's cold. It's the middle of winter and we are at the ShadyTreez Stitches retreat. We're on the last morning and we've had an awesome time, and you're going to get to meet some of the other people later. So look forward to that, as I know some of you always do.
They're over there making faces at us.
They are. They're over there listening and watching, but that's okay. So apologies if there is any background noise. They are being quiet. It is a stitching retreat, so therefore it's not particularly noisy except for when we're talking. So yeah, we've had a great weekend here, getting lots of stitching done. It's been cold because it's winter and it's a very cold house, and so we have had the girls doing a wonderful job on the fire, and the fire has been burning all weekend, pretty much non-stop, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let's get to our stitching. I want to start because I have a finish. Yay! I finished my Farmhouse Christmas Pine Tree Farm, and this one was really good because it fitted in for my bonus for Shirl's Daily 30 group with a P for picnic. So I have finished the Pine Tree Farm of that, so that is pretty cool.
So how many is that you've done now?
On this one?
Yeah.
Well, I will show you that a bit. Well, I can show you now, but because I've started the next one, so it flows into my whips anyway.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's all good. That's fine, Jen. So
Ooh.
I have done 5, and you can see down the bottom, I have just started to work on, where is it? Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Ooh.
So cock-a-doodle-doo is all white, which is why I haven't done much more of it. And just in case you do care, this piece of fabric is a lovely mottled, and it's from Sew It All in Port Macquarie. And I'm not doing it all on one piece of fabric, although it is at the moment. I'm planning to cut it up. Now we do know we have backlight, but we wanted to show you the tree, and we didn't want to sit out there and freeze, and it's also likely to get overcast during the filming, so.
And it's wet, so the tree might drip on us.
Yeah, we don't want to drip on all our work.
Yep.
So yeah, so I did do 100 stitches on Cock-a-doodle-doo to get started because it's one of the C's in picnic. And then I worked on my Farmhouse Christmas for that. It was also, I finished working it because it was a relative of another piece. So I finished the tree one because it was a relative of Cock-a-doodle-doo and others, which was pretty good. And it was also my favourite whip of the time for magical stitches because I do like those ones. Because what is your favourite whip? Sometimes you have an all-out favourite that's been your favourite forever, but usually they cycle through a bit. For me, they're always cycling, and it's often a matter of what would I like to stitch on today that I need for something else that's going to be my favourite to work on. All right, so this week I have been a busy girl. I actually felt like I hadn't done a lot of stitching, and I know I keep saying that, but I feel like I hadn't, and yet I added up my totals, and since my last video I've done 5,932 stitches. I know, but I felt like I wasn't getting any done. And I said, I know, and some of you laugh at me and go, stop skiding. I'm not skiding, I'm just amazed at how many I do, all because I just allocate some time every day to do it. Having the daily 30 really helps, even though I only get about 70 stitches to 100 on the daily 30, it really gets some progress happening. Which reminds me, I haven't actually unpacked that one, so I will have to go and get that in a second.
Okay.
But that's right, it can wait till later in the videos. All right, so what have I stitched on? I have stitched on my Village of Hawk Run Hollow. My Village of Hawk Run Hollow previously looked like this, and I was working mostly on this Soaring Hawk and Screaming Crow block, and I had another finish, which was one of my goals, to finish this block for the semi-sane school reports. I had to finish that block for the report, so I did finish that block, and then I also worked on it for a few more things. I had to do for the daily 30 a piece that had at least 10 parts. So Hawk Run Hollow has 12 parts, and so as you can see, I actually did all those borders, and I've done the bottom one. And over here is the one I did this week. So, I'm starting to get it mapped out. I also found, which I should show you later too, I refound another set of magnifiers.
Yes.
So yes, I probably, should do another magnification video sometime, because people are always wondering what to do, and it just makes stitching on 40 counts so much easier.
And so you do have lots of different variations and options.
I do
with
have
that,
lots of different
'cause
variations and options.
You've been struggling quite a bit with your hawk run, and
Yeah, so I
trying
think
all your
maybe
different-
next week when I'm at home and I've got the assortment again, I might give you another view of how sexy I look in all my glasses. Okay, so I also had to work on for homework something that I wouldn't wish upon anyone for magical stitches.
Oh dear.
So for me, it's still my modern folk embroidery, purely because I had that big frogging episode a few weeks ago. And so it's gone from being one of my favourite whips to, I don't want to stitch on it because I know there's a mistake in it and I've got to try and work it out. But I do like it. So previously it looked like this. And as you can see in the picture, I had frogged. And it's now, can you let me know? I can't see you.
Yep. On this side.
Thank you. So you can see now, and I worked on all this middle sort of triangle bits. So at least it's getting the scaffold up and working now. So it's a big piece, and I'm way behind. I haven't even finished February, but that's okay. But I do really love the Silks For You colour that I'm doing in. So
It's very pretty.
it's still one of my favourites because I really love the thread. And it's a nice piece of antique sort of linen that I'm stitching it on. So that was that one, and I did the minimum I needed to do for that, which was probably 200 stitches or something. I had a new start during the week with the ever lovely Glenna. Hi Glenna. She's beautiful over in America, and she knew I was going to start this piece, so we started it. She starts her new starts this year on the 20th of each month because it's 2020. So we are working on Bird in Hand, and I think I actually did start this on the day I last filmed. So I don't know, I think I might have just shown you where I got to, but I continued working on it. I did another 500 stitches on it. So now we have a horse and some buildings. So he's really cute. I never would have thought I'd enjoy stitching a horse, but he's really cute. So really loving that one. That is on a piece of my own Paddock Lane Designs fabric. So really like the mottling that's getting and the rustic look. Glenna, I'm sure, is miles ahead of me already, but that's right. But I enjoyed stitching on that, and I know I worked on it it was a piece that was so enjoyable, that I was enjoying. So I did do 500 stitches on that, and I think I did another 500 on it. I'm not sure, I might have only done one 500 on it, but it was really enjoyable, so got it done. And then the same designer, told you I had a lot, working on my Raspberry Homecoming. So my Raspberry Homecoming is, I'm not even sure why I worked on that one. So I had it here, but maybe I didn't work on it. I don't know. Anyway, I mentioned it. There it is. It's looking really cute, but maybe I haven't done any more on it. I can't remember.
The person looks a bit weird because they have no head.
Yeah, of course she does. I know the last thing I was stitching on was blues, but I haven't got it written down in my book, which doesn't mean I didn't stitch on it. It just means I didn't write it down in my book. But it was in my pile for some reason. And I had another new start. It is the year of starts after all. Currently the year of starts. So
I might have had one too.
yes, I started on Caprice. She's a beautiful fairy by Nora Corbett, and she's actually going to be my letter in for the alphabet next week. And I had a bit of fun with her because when I started stitching her, see this fleshy colour down here? That's her wings.
What?
But if you look at the picture, that's not really the right colour, and I was looking at it going, I'm not sure why this is a thing. This is on a gorgeous piece of, I think it's Sassy Devils dyed fabric, like a little spring bouquet. But I could tell it was wrong, but I couldn't work out why. And then I realised I'm an idiot. And I was just looking at the cross stitches, and the pattern had a half cross going that way. I didn't even look at the metallics because I went, oh, I'm not stitching metallics this week. But in the metallics, there was silver going that way.
Oh no.
So her wings are meant to be silver, not peach.
Oops.
However, because I stuffed it up, it got me thinking, and with all the chats around about the fact that lots of these cross stitches are very white, and she is incredibly pale. I thought, you know what? Maybe I'd like to make her dark. So she now has dark skin. This is 801, which is a really, really luscious brown colour. And being Australian, for me, I want her to look more like an Aboriginal sort of fairy, to be with our culture. So I went for that particular dark for that. But I am still thinking I probably will end up unpicking her wings. But we'll see.
Well, fairy wings, I can see why they would want to make it metallic to have it glistening a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know, because she's still very, like it could have been the creamy colour.
Yeah.
So I'll see. I'll do a bit more before I decide. I did have to frog a little bit of it today anyway, because I'd miscounted. So I think, apart from the ones that I have stitched on that someone else who's here I'm stitching with, that is, and my, yeah, well that's all right, that has come up with Nat anyway, so that's perfect. So that is all my whips except for the one I'm sharing with you.
Yes.
So Jenny and I, at the start of the year, we've done Little House Neighbourhood.
Yes.
And it's gorgeous, and I haven't done much on it, so previously it looked like this. And I got stuck into it again because we had to stitch something for Cheryl's group that was to do with a custom, and I really felt like the girls coming over for a cup of tea and visiting their friends is a good custom that we have in this country. So I was working on my Little House Neighbourhood, and I've done just over 1,000 stitches on it since you last saw it. So that's where it is. I finished the sheep in the middle, and I've almost finished the blue house. So pretty much that row is done. Did the flower.
Yep.
So yeah, that whole middle row of the pattern is done. So that's where I'm up to with it. How's yours going, Jen?
Well, previously mine looked like this, and I've done 599 stitches.
That's really good, Jen.
Since the last time, and so mine now looks like this. So I've been mainly working on the house at the bottom.
Now tell us, Jen, how come you have done different to me? Because there's a particular reason why Jen's done it differently to me.
Well, there's 2 pages to this pattern, and the first page stops here. So I started on the page and then went down, and Lisa's done, because there's the 3 stripes of pattern. But yes, so Lisa's done the whole of the middle stripe, whereas I've done half the middle stripe.
So I negotiated the cross of the pattern, whereas Jen, when I can't be bothered to do that at the moment, so she's just heading down.
Yeah, and I haven't started on the house over here because my Q-snap went to there. So I haven't started on the red house on this side, but we'll get there.
Yeah, it's good. I love seeing the different way people do the same thing. It's really, really quite fascinating. That's good. What else have you got then, Jen?
Okay.
Because you have been stitching. I'm very proud of her.
Yes, so I have been working on my Family Quaker, the Verbena cross stitch, and it previously looked like this. And I have done 1,016 stitches, and so just got something behind it. It now looks like this. So I'm up to the top corner here. I haven't done the border yet, but I'm up to the top corner on this side. So yes, so that's using my Silks for You grab bag silks and the piece of fabric from the Mittagong Stitches Retreat.
Lovely.
I have also, you can't really tell, but I have been doing some more on my Portrait of Antique Vines. I've been going over the middle. Maybe if I go really close, you can see the bottom half of her, you can't really see in the video. Anyway, from about her forehead to her chin, the coverage in the black wasn't as good as the other bits. I was using, lesson learnt, I was using offcut, like tail ends of bits of black, because I thought black is black, but they weren't all the same thickness. So I've been going over with tip from Nat, who you'll see soon. She said go over with one of the lighter, like thinner strands of black. Go over where you've already gone. Just do the top cross again with one strand, and I've been doing that, and it is making a difference. It's looking much better. You can just see in the middle now it's still a bit patchy, but the top section is looking
and it needs
more
to be
solid.
Consistent with that sort of pattern. Definitely.
Oh, totally. So I haven't been counting that one because it's difficult. It's on 20 count, and I'm stitching black over where I've already stitched black, and so I haven't been counting those ones, but I have been making slow progress on that. And I had a new start for Lisa's birthday,
which you saw with me last week.
So I'm doing the Strawberry Fields as well, And very unusually for me, almost every single pattern I've ever done, I've started in the middle. But this one, because I'm using a big piece of material, I've actually started in the top corner. Yes, that corner. And so I have done 202 stitches so far, and I have done that.
That's
So it's
really
not
cute.
very much, but it's on 36 count fabric, and so it's a really big piece. So I thought, well, if I start in the corner, then when I finish it, I can cut it off in the right spot. And yeah, and I'm really liking I'm using the DMC alternatives because I had all but 3 of them, so I could get started straight away.
And we really don't have easy access to the others. Can we just fold that up and I'll show it again because I want to say something with it. I really like this because Jenny has started in the corner, but hold it close. I also want to point out, so that's 200 stitches, and it's a hot topic at the moment about how many stitches do you think it actually counts to have started a whip? Because we're getting ready for the year of no starts next year. Now, there's a Facebook group if you want to join it. If you're interested in working on your whips and you want to not start anything new, then there is a Facebook group to support you with that next year. So I'll put the link in the comments below when I get round to it. I'm really bad at putting links at the time because I wait till it's uploaded and then life gets busy and I try and get back to it. But one of the questions we're being asked at the moment is, well, what actually counts as a whip? And that's a very good question. So if you were asked that question generally, what would you say a whip is, Jen?
Well, I would say probably not less than 200.
So you,
because this I've cut so far. I've used 5 different colours, and it was 2 or 3 nights of stitching.
Okay, so you count it as a whip when you've done a fairly substantial amount, like 200, and it looks like you've done something.
200 is not really fairly
No,
substantial,
but
but it's enough that you can actually see. Well, particularly with this one, because of the pattern, you can definitely see. There are strawberries. It's more than one strand of thread. And more than one session of stitching.
Okay, interesting to get your view on that topic. Going to be surveying a lot of people today for that topic because we have a challenge planned and we have to set all the rules for the challenge, and it's fascinating just to see the different thoughts people have on different things.
I have done a little bit more on my Peaceable Kingdom too, but it's only 22 stitches, so that's not worth showing.
My goodness, it took her all morning. I felt so sorry for her. Like 5 hours this morning to do those 22 stitches.
It wasn't 5 hours.
But
it was maybe an hour.
But there was a good reason. What did you discover about that pattern that is really weird?
Okay, so it's a Teresa Wensler pattern, and so there are tweeded colours. Fair enough. And there are some parts of it where it's half crosses because it's like the background trees to give it less definition, so that But then there's also another section that I discovered today where there's 2 little asterisks beside each symbol. For those ones, you do the bottom cross in the 2 strands that it says, and then you do the top cross in another colour, one strand of another colour. So I'm doing 2 strands underneath with 1 strand over the top, and it's 3 different colours.
How to make it complicated. Wow. Yeah. Okay, hence why it took a fair while for her to get them done. All right, well, I think that moves us on to haul.
Okay.
All right, my haul. I have not got a lot of haul, and in fact, I probably have some more haul at home, but I haven't brought it with me. So you get what I've got today, and that's just what you get. So I was very excited, as always, to find that in my mail came my beautiful Crafty Leanie Fabric of the Month. Look at that. And it's looking a lot darker on the camera than it actually is. It's more of the light green and less of that sort of dark khaki grey. Beautiful. She does a fantastic job. So I enjoy getting her fabric each month. It's really, really, really nice. And as always, she's a sweetie, and she gives us a little needle minder. And so cute. So this tells you about the fabric. It's well, it's not 16 count because it's is it? I don't know what it is.
Would be.
It says 16 count, but I get an even weave. Oh, I don't know, 16 count. Maybe it's 16 count even weave. I'm usually get a 32 count even.
Oh, sorry, I meant she's put 16. I was
She means
thinking 32. Yeah.
Yeah. And look at that cute little Nina minder. Isn't that gorgeous?
Friday.
So that is called Sandstorm. So thank you to Pauline for that. I also got a lovely Stitchy Kindness mail, and it was really, really exciting because this is from the lovely Vicky Reading and Stitching, headmistress of Magical Stitches, and she made all the prefects from last year a little project bag with Hogwarts fabric. And because I'm Hufflepuff, she's embroidered my name in yellow, which is lovely, and she included some beautiful little bits and bobs in them that have come from a couple of places. It's a beautiful little needle minder, and I forgot who that was from, but this one is gorgeous. This is a Frogger from StitchNButton. Oh, it's frogging all the way onto the table. And it's really cool because it's like a big thick needle that you then can use to do your unpicking with. So that is awesome. So,
and again, Hufflepuff.
And a little Deathly Hallows symbol.
Yep.
So thank you so much, Vicky. It's awesome and so kind of you to give us a lovely treat for, you know, working. It is hard work doing those things for the groups, but lovely to get a reward that you weren't expecting. And I got 2 more bits of haul. This is from Michelle, who's here. She's made this. It's a lovely little zipper pull. So cute. She gave that to us. And Jenny gave me a needle minder too. I'm just trying to think which one of those projects had the needle minder on. I'll think about that while you talk about your haul.
Okay, well my haul, so also from Michelle. She'd been shopping at her local op shop and got some stuff that she thought other people might like. So this one, hang on, let me just find the name of it. Oh, Feathers and Friends. It's a button-up road pattern. So that's very cute.
And very you.
Yes.
I found it.
Aha.
Jenny made us all a needle minder, so I chose this cute little, nothing likes going close up. Cute little birdie, isn't he cute? A little wooden button, very cute. So thanks, Jenny.
Yep, and then another friend of mine decided to upgrade her bead storage, and so she offered me what she had, which was the Spotlight box that comes with 24 little round things in. So she had already labelled most of them, and of all the ones that she'd labelled, which was about 60 or so of so she gave me 3 boxes, and there were about 60 that were already labelled, and of those 60 I have about 15 of those colours.
And you have how many others?
I have to buy another 3 boxes of 24 to be able to put all the rest of my stuff in.
Because Jenny and I had a great find a few years ago. Spotlight were clearing out their Mill Hills. So, and they were, I don't know, some ridiculous price, like 50 cents a packet.
Yeah, like in bundles. So you couldn't actually choose your individual colours. So we did end up with some duplicates, but yeah, we went and bought several packets.
I look forward to unboxing mine when I get to those.
Yes, so I've decanted for one of my projects, one of my Mill Hill beaded projects. Cool. So some of them just have handwritten labels for now. I will get round to putting proper labels on them eventually. But
lovely.
Yes, so that was very useful haul.
Okay.
Even if it means I need to go and spend more
money.
Spend more money.
Isn't that always the way to get more organised? So that brings us to our plans. My plans are to continue with doing my homework. I love it. It's the end of the month, so we've got 2 more days. So this week sees the start of round 8 of the Myth and Magic Stitch Wars. So I'm again being clan leader of the Halflings. Got a lovely little group of people stitching with me, and we're going to see how far we can survive. We also have got a lot of different events starting with Semi-Sane, including which is going to be exciting because you basically going to play it's going to tell you direction to go, and you do a certain number of stitches, and they're going to be little stitches. So I'm planning to double that up with my scavenger hunt, which you remember I finished at the first level a few weeks ago, and then just do my usual homework. And there's what are they called? The mythological stitches are doing a new thing this month. They're one I haven't talked about. Next month they're doing a new thing, and I haven't talked about them much because it was just doing other challenges like what I already do, and sometimes my brain gets a bit overwhelmed with so many challenges. But this month they're actually going to be doing a bit of a stitch your own adventure. So you're gonna do something, and then you're gonna have to pick a direction to go, and when you go that direction, I imagine it'll take you down the lake and you gotta stitch 500 stitches, or if you went the other way, you went up the hill and it was 300 stitches. I don't know exactly, but it's gonna be fun. So what are your plans, Jen?
I don't know. I'm an accountant, so very busy at work, even though I'm still only working 3 days a week, which is really frustrating because it's always a struggle to fit 5 days of work into 3 days. But COVID and my boss wanting me to cut back on my hours so that it's reducing the bottom line because I'm using up my annual leave. Anyway, so a bit busy for this week and next week, but I'll have a look at what the homework is and see if I can get re-inspired because I've sort of had a bit of a break from homework.
But now you're re-inspired from coming to the Stitchy weekend and getting some stitching done. Awesome. And also hanging out on Zoom. So if you want to catch us, you'll find basically many of the people who are on the ShadyTreez retreat on the what I call Aussie hour Zoom on virtual stitches, which is usually about 8 p.m. on a Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Usually some of us are there those nights, sometimes other nights from about 8 till 10:30. So yeah, jump on if you want to actually stitch with people, if you want to actually have a time where it's like, this is my stitching time. It's great. All right, and that brings us to our last thing for this video, which is our prize draw that we promised from a few videos ago.
If you want to do that while I just
so
refresh.
We got our 500 subscribers, and again, thank you so much for everyone. And we're giving away this beautiful Country Threads kit. It's beautiful flowers, the full kit, floral rainbow. They're just really pretty flowers. And we asked people to do their favourite flower in the comments. And we had 8 people comment, which is not a lot, but it was enough that you really got good odds, I reckon, if you enter our giveaways. So good on those 8 people. And so we have a random number generator that Jenny's going to hold close as she can get it to make it actually behave.
So it's not going to see.
It's too bright. Can you turn the brightness down?
Yep.
We thought we'd do it live on screen for once.
Okay.
All right. Not that we ever cheat. There you are. So you're going to look at the number. Yep. So press the button, the big blue button, and we're going to draw.
Did it do?
Yep.
2.
Number 2. Number 2 is Beck Diggity. Congratulations.
Yay!
Woohoo! And Beck's one of our regular subscribers and regular commenters, so that's exciting. So Beck, just send me a message with your mailing address and we'll get it sent out to you. All right, that'll be really good. And thank you again so much, everyone, for watching and for subscribing and liking and commenting. We do really, really appreciate it. And if you're new and you've lasted this long, well done. Hopefully you'll stick around. Most weeks it's me, and then about once a month we get Jenny and I together on Zoom or live, depending on our lives. So we are going to log off now because we're going to come back in about 2 seconds with the next video. And the next video is our ShadyTreez retreat special. So we're going to share with you the lovely ladies who have been on the retreat with us and what they've been stitching. So until then, happy stitching.
Bye.